here we go, we are live streamed, because the portrait view didn't fit well with the recording that then ended up on YouTube. So I am going to attempt to do it this way. Somebody has to tell me, do I look as if I'm looking into the camera when I look here? Anybody? Yes. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate it. I'm kind of out here winging it. I don't know what's going on with my laptop, but it's been telling me that it's overloaded lately because this little beast does a lot. I think I'll have to clear some things out. Anyway, welcome to the Soma Life Sanctuary free masterclasses that we do every Friday. So Laura Lee, it's conflicted. I saw one thing that said that we were doing Akashic Alchemy, and then something else said we were doing hot seat coaching.
Hot seat coaching is next week. Today is Transformational Alchemy. Okay.
So one of you who volunteers to come up is going to have a chance. We're going to take a journey into your past lives. So is there someone that would like to volunteer to take that journey? Tanya? Okay. Tanya, have you done that kind of work before? Okay. So can you unmute yourself, love? Okay, something's happening with Tanya. Okay.
There is. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Okay, good. All right. This is a better view.
No, I've never done it before. I've attempted to do it, but I wasn't able to go in myself.
Okay. So here's what I want to let you know. If you weren't able to go in by yourself, we may have that same issue, because when I do this work with people, it's usually people that have done these things before. Their clairs are open, like their clairvoyance is open, their clairsentience is open, their claircognizance is open. It goes much easier when you have those open. So we will do what we can. But if the reason why you weren't able to go in by yourself is there's some fear that's blocking you from doing that. And if you have those kind of fears, then you need to do the work on that. But, we'll go in and we'll do the best that we can. So what specifically did you have an interest in working on or healing or learning about?
It was about why I'm having trouble stepping into my power.
Okay.
Why am I having so much trouble clearing my clairs? Because I've been attempting to work on this for a while, and it just seems like there's this massive block.
Okay. So every time I find a block like that, hi, Samaya. Hi, Sherry. Every time I find a block like that, what I find is that you had a past life when you had those abilities, and then you were somehow killed, maimed, or put to death for them. So when you go in to do that work, you're bumping up against those fears, and the fears are like, you're not getting in here. Are you kidding me? So one of the foundation classes that I teach is called Quantum Healing. And in that course, we very specifically give you tools and techniques to be able to address those areas. So we'll see how far we can go. Spirit is already telling me, they're like, she's definitely got some blocks up. So we'll go as far as we can. And then what I would recommend is working with me or one of my students to continue to work on removing those blocks, because it's a traumatic incident. And I don't know if anybody ever heard Lady Gaga talking about when she had the trauma of being kidnapped and of being raped and then being released. And she talked about how what happens is when you have that kind of trauma, you segment it in the mind and you store it away and you let yourself completely forget about it. And that's what has happened in the past with a lot of these past lives. Like what you're going to be going back to is where the trauma occurred. You don't go back to the past life where you find out that you lived in a land of unicorns and rainbows and everybody was happy and you had 17 puppies. You know, like that isn't what gets stuck in the mind. You know, I was there for the destruction of Atlantis, and I was one of the people that programmed the crystals to go down instead of up, and you know, and there's all that trauma. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
And
So,
I think I've experienced a lot of traumas even in this lifetime
right,
as well.
right. Do you know
so
why?
I'm like, no more.
No, but here's why. All lifetimes funnel into this one. So everything that you're experiencing here, it's like your soul is saying, look, you didn't heal this, and we're going to give you a lighter version of it. And believe it or not, what you're experiencing here is a lighter version of what happened before. And we're like, holy crap, that's the most traumatic thing, you know, I possibly could have imagined. I dealt with incest, I dealt with sodomy, I dealt with rape, I dealt with murder, I dealt with alcoholism, I dealt with drug addiction, you know, like through ourselves or other people. And, you know, but that wasn't so bad as opposed to when your planet got blown up, say, you know, for example.
Do you
And,
think
you know,
that being under the influence of marijuana could hinder my abilities of getting in there as well?
yeah, I actually won't work with people who are using substance.
Okay, then I would let you know right now that I do smoke marijuana before we would even start the session, just to out of respect for you and everything and the process.
I so appreciate your candor with that. So my rule is, you know, no drugs or alcohol, because I need you as sharp and as frosty as possible. So Tanya, here's what I invite you to do. I invite you to come back another week. Okay, Samaya, we'll work with you. I invite you to come back another week when you can have let like 24 hours go, and I can have like the soberest version of you. Because one of the reasons why we partake in substances like that, you know, and for me, mine is I know how to kill the anxiety, just eat half a pizza, you know? So everybody's got their way that they do it. Some people drink, some people take drugs, some people smoke, you know, some people use food, whatever it is. It's looking to try and kill whatever that anxiety may be. And meditation and doing a lot of breath. So
yeah, it's really just it's dumbing down my racing thoughts.
Yes. Right.
It's that OCD. And when I smoke, it definitely, you know, like it doesn't help me control it. It helps me dumb myself down so that I'm not as sharp as you know, not as intuitive.
So there's two things that you can do. And then I have a sweet offer for you. One of my students is here. Her name is Sherry. She's on the screen with you. And Sherry is in the process of practicing with students right now. So she said that when you get sober, she can do a session with you. I require it of my practitioners. I require it of my students, and I require it of my clients, because you're not going to be able to have the same impact spiritually and psychically as when you're on substance.
I've recovered from meth already. So now it's like, you know, weed. So
I understand.
It's a process.
Listen, I have students and I have friends that have done meth recovery and have done really, really well with it. And what it is, it just takes the courage to be willing to go in. I
forgot this was life.
Oh no, listen.
It's okay.
Listen, we're all you. We are all each other, you know? But thank you very much for your honesty. And you and Sherry can connect with each other through the chat group.
Thank you, Sherry. Blessings to you, Samaya. Good luck. And thank you so much, Lord, Lynn. Thank you.
You're very welcome, my love, and welcome to my world. It's a fun ride. I just want to give a quick shout out to Terry. Terry and Sherry and Laura Lee are all in a year-long program that I have that just started last night. So I just want to say it's good to see all of you, and I love you. They are students that have been with me through many, many lifetimes. No, listen, you don't trip and fall into my world. Like I'm a needle in a haystack. I don't advertise. Like you may see a little blurb on Facebook, but you know, I'm not, if you're here, spirit brought you here. If you're here for a reason. Does that make sense? You know, I don't believe in accidents. Everything in the universe is created through intention and desire and intention. So if you're here, it's great to see you again. That's really all I can say about that. And welcome. All right, Samaya. Hi, sweet girl. I love your hair. I used to wear hair like that, and I just had it all shaved off. And
I love it. It suits you so much. It really does.
Thank you. It feels great. And yesterday, look at what she did. She really brought it in here. And I know, and all the silver's starting to show. I'm very, very, very pleased.
It's looking lovely.
Yeah, it's very, very fun.
It feels more you. It feels definitely like we see you.
Listen, here's the deal. There was definitely a place of saying, I said to Jesus, I said, listen, I'm willing to open my kimono to the world. And he goes, great, get rid of all your hair. I was like, okay,
yeah.
Hold on a second. Can I take, can I take those words back? And he's like, no. And I was like, okay. And I made an appointment that day and boom.
Nice.
I looked at what I didn't want to do and I didn't want to color my hair. I was 61. I'm like, I've been coloring my hair since I was in my 20s. Yeah. I'm done. It would burn my scalp. Like the treatment would burn my scalp. So
it was ready to go.
Oh, it was. And I feel free. Yeah,
Beautiful.
Exactly, Ashley. Exactly. Since our 20s, and my sister, it's so funny. She married a man and her kids turned out to be blondes. And they were like, Mommy, why is your hair so much darker? So she went blonde earlier when her kids were young, like 25 years ago. And she's just kind of kept on that track. So the gray never showed up.
Wow.
And she said to me, why don't you go blonde? And I said, no, I don't want to go blonde. I want to be as God created me. I've never had any plastic surgery. I've never done anything. I use some creams on my face to tighten up my skin, so I don't have a billion wrinkles, but I definitely have some. Here.
You know what? I found something interesting with a plastic surgery, because I don't have anything against people doing it, but the energy moves different. I read energy for professionally, and I realized the energy doesn't move with the plastic surgery, and there's something off about that. Well, because it's just rigid.
Well, you've taken God's soul blueprint, what you decided, what you chose that you were going to be before you came in, and you're altering it. And Botox is injecting poison. So, there's that. There's that. Thank you, Carrie. You're so sweet. Carrie Ann. Okay. So Samaya, my love, tell me what you would like to address today.
I've been on a bit of a journey where I found myself the last 2 weeks feeling a little bit more stuck. Energetically. I feel generally to be in quite a good flow, and I feel like I'm living out my purpose. I feel like right now I'm in a place where I feel like I'm expressing the most authentic sort of part of my work and myself through it. Yeah. And it feels wonderful. And I've been feeling an energetic pull from a connection that is a very old connection, in terms of lifetimes, but that is not in my life anymore, and it needs to be out of my life. And I guess it's a soulmate connection, twin flame, if you want to go into that sort of thing. It doesn't really matter to me. And I feel there's a little bit of a pull, and there's a little bit of an unfinished thing that I am kind of working through right now on some kind of level. I know that connection has been a real catalyzer for me, like a real powerful activation, like really stepping into my power, into my whatever happened to my, like connecting with my soul energy. But I also know that it was there for that purpose, and I just need to kind of finish off something there.
Okay. So there's two things that are coming up. Your guides are telling me that there is an energetic, say someone leaves, but they leave something behind because they want to, girl spends a night at a guy's house and she leaves something there so she has a reason to come back. There's something that was energetically deposited that's still with you. And so I'm going to remove that as an attachment, and then we can go and take a look at the soul contract for the two of you.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, great. So the first thing I'd like to do is I'm going to have you close your eyes, and any of you that would like to do this that are here as well, I'm going to take you through a breathing program that's going to take you from beta up to alpha and then up to theta. So if everybody could please just go ahead and close your eyes and just allow yourselves to become still and become present to where you are in time and space, in the bodies that you have chosen to design in co-creation with Source. And I want you to start to pay attention to your breath. So take a breath in through the nose. And then as you take an exhale through the nose. Just start to let your consciousness drift down towards the heart. Take another inhale in through the nose. Make it a little richer, a little fuller, a little deeper. And then as you exhale, continue to drop your attention and your energy down towards the heart as you exhale. Take another inhale in through the nose. And as you exhale through the nose, again, continue to let that energy move you closer and closer to your heart. Next, I want you to imagine breathing in white light. And let that white light come in and really fill you. And as you exhale, I want you to exhale in dark. Go ahead and exhale any darkness and continue to let your consciousness drift down towards the heart. Take another inhale in of white light. Go ahead and exhale any darkness. Take another inhale in of white light. Let it circulate. Let it fill you. And as you exhale the darkness, continue to drift further and further down into the heart. Next, I want you to imagine breathing in golden light. Breathe in golden light. Breathe it in, breathe it in, breathe it in. Let it fill you. And as that golden light comes in, it activates the light body inside of the physical body. And as you exhale, go ahead and exhale that same golden light. And you find yourself drifting into a state called theta. Take another inhale in of golden light. Breathe that golden light in. It circulates. Also known as prana, chi, or ki energy. And then exhale that same golden light. You feel yourself drifting more and more gently into your heart. Take another inhale in of golden light. And as you exhale that golden light, you find yourself in a place of peace. Very peaceful scene in nature. Notice where you are. Notice how peaceful you feel. You take an inhale and you notice that there is a doorway. See the shape of the door, what the door is made of, the color of the door.
Yes.
Okay. Does the door have a handle on it?
Yes.
Is the handle on the right, the left, or the center?
On the left.
Okay. Does the door open towards you or away from you?
Away from me.
Okay. So walk up to the door and go ahead and walk through it. Open the door and you're going to find yourself in a hallway. And you walk down the hallway and then you come upon a room, a very large room with a very, very large round table that can seat 12. And there are 12 chairs around the table. Please describe the table and chairs. What are they made of? Yeah.
The chairs are white with a long back and kind of like an empty back. So it's kind of like just the thing around it. The table is a big, solid wooden table. It's got like a sheen on top of it. So it's quite sort of what's the word I'm trying to think of? Yeah, quite smooth surface.
Like a varnish?
Like a varnish, and it's got a real thick wood.
Okay.
Really solid table. Large table.
Beautiful. Is there anybody seated in the chairs?
Apart from me, at the moment, I'm just seeing a vaguely an entity, but I don't feel it is. It's not like it's more of a spirit entity than a human.
Okay, that's fine. Please ask the entity to introduce themselves. Ask them, who are they?
Odin.
Hi, Odin. Welcome. Does Odin have a message for you, or does he have somewhere that he wants to take you for you to understand the dynamic that you have with the twin flame?
He's taking me somewhere energetically right now. I'm trying to translate the energy to understand it.
That's
I think
fine.
he's taking me to the point of origin.
Okay. Are you willing to go with him?
I'm definitely willing to go with him.
Okay, very good.
It's a lot of, it's a very old time. It feels like it's moving through time and space very quickly.
Yeah, you are. You've moved into another dimension here. It's okay. When you get there, I want you to describe what it is that you see, feel, hear, and experience as you go. You're going to see it. It'll seem like a scene in a movie.
It's taking me to the time where I'm being placed in front of a mirror.
Okay.
At that point of origin, in that connection.
Okay.
And
what's being reflected in the mirror?
The essence of me, of who I am, and who I was, what the connection was coming to, I guess, was going to initiate for me to connect with eventually. So it's taking me to sort of the source, time of when it all began.
Okay.
But it's almost like a full circle. Like it's the beginning, but it's also the end. It's a weird thing to explain. So it's the beginning, but it's a full circle. So it's weird. It's like, is it beginning? Is it the end? It's almost like it's the time of the source of that connection, but it's also the source of me, you know, the beginning of.
Yes. The soul's incarnation.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like, it was almost like this thing of, it feels the energy of the purity of Samaya.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels really lovely to see her.
Ask Odin, what is it that he wants you to see and understand about the twin flame and the soul contract?
I've already been receiving that information as I've been looking in, actually. And it really was about the seed that he was there to provide an understanding, and this like the seed of, to really, for me to understand the seed of who I am. And it was never really about him. Like he was me, I was him. It was like just getting that deeper insight into me from that energetic standpoint, you know?
Yes.
And activating me.
Okay. And what is the piece that he left behind? Why is there a piece of residue?
I think that's a really good question. That's what I really would like to know.
So ask Odin.
his bit is not complete. And I feel like I'm carrying that responsibility for him.
Okay. So is that something that you're willing to release? Because it can only stay attached to you by your agreement.
Yeah.
And if you say that that's not anything that you want any longer, it has to go.
That's the bit that I feel quite mixed
Okay.
about. I feel like I want to say yes, that I really want to release it. I've released so many soulmates and I've transformed so much. Like I've lived so many lifetimes in this lifetime. And I think I really want to be ready for my next, ideally for my partner, a soul partner that is going to match with me. And I just don't feel that holding space for him in that respect is the way to do it.
So are you willing to let go?
I would like some help around that.
Okay. Well, it comes down to your will, your personal will and your volition.
It's a yes. It's 100% a yes. And I feel like I need some help around it.
Okay. Regarding why you still want to hold on to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The part of me that kind of feels like I'm letting him down because I feel his pull and I feel like I've transcended something and he's really hurt that I'm not like helping him to elevate, you know? And I kind of feel like I know it's not my role to do, yet I just feel a little bit of like maybe a false sense of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think that's his lesson now.
Yes. It's his lesson to learn.
I've learned mine, and I feel like I want him to release me because all this work I'm doing, he keeps on like coming back and I keep on letting him, energetically speaking. And I feel like there's some more lessons he needs to learn completely separately to me. And that I don't think I'll be able to help. If anything, I'm just kind of like, think that I'm trying to do the work that he's meant to do, you know, but it's like, it's his thing to do, walk alone now.
So the question once again is, are you willing to let go? You have to be willing to let go of the guilt and the shame that you have chosen to experience. You have to be willing to let him walk his path as you walk yours.
Yeah, I am actually. I am. I have been for a very long time now. And I'm really ready to kind of release that energy and allow so much more beautiful energy that is in alignment with me to bless my life, you know?
Beautiful. So you can now say to him, I release you.
I release you.
With love.
With love.
And the Ho'oponopono prayer goes a long way. So you can say, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
And forgive yourself as well.
Mm.
And when you feel the release of that forgiveness, there it is. Then you can say, thank you.
Thank you.
And I love you.
I love you.
It goes a long way. Because ultimately, who we're forgiving is ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
You know, everybody's a mirrored aspect of us. So ask Odin, is there anything else that he needs to show you at this time?
Yeah, so he wanted me to fill that energetic gap and to bring some energy in, especially around my heart space and my, is it solar or sacral there? In solar plexus, possibly sacral. He wants me to receive some energy there.
Beautiful. So allow yourself to receive that healing. Beautiful.
Some white light healing into my solar and some emerald green energy going into my heart.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
I think it's moving up into my throat, into my third eye.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And now with Odin, I want you to move. There's a room across from the round table that is known as the place of planning. And the place of planning is where all souls meet to make their soul contracts with one another. So you and Odin make your way there. And then the being that you've been in a relationship with, bring them there as well. But when they come in not as personality, but as an aspect of higher self. And you come in with your higher self. In fact, imagine your higher self before you and step into her.
Oh, she's here. Trust me, she's here.
Good. And have Odin explain, what was the soul contract between the two of you?
Remembering.
Beautiful. That's what Jesus says to me all the time. All you need to do is remember and allow. Remember and allow.
Because the person I've been the last few years that I walk through this experience has become like, all her superpowers have really come out to play,
Beautiful.
you know?
Beautiful.
So I think it was that he's really facilitated that. He really held that for me, that kind of.
Yeah. And now it's time, they're saying it, now it's time for you to walk that journey on your own, to prepare you for what's coming next.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
It's very interesting to see just the energy, because his higher self there is just different. He's not pulling on me.
Yeah. Yep. And there was a place where you had a need to be pulled on. It's a place where you feel like you're being useful, you're being of service. And you can let go of that as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. Ask Odin if there's anything else that you need to understand about this contract, this dynamic between the two of you at this time.
I think he's showing me an aspect of the soul that needed to express an aspect of relating in a dynamic that he was ready to that now has outgrown, and he was ready to learn, and he has learned what he needed to learn through that type of relating, and that it's evolved.
Beautiful.
And I think it's just showing me the work I've done with this, and I think the soul has been grieving a little bit around it, because it's fulfilled that. And that little allowing his pulling and me holding on, what that meant was like I was holding on a bit rather than letting it grieve and go, you know?
Yes. And there doesn't even really need to be a sense of grieving. There could be celebration instead of grief.
Absolutely.
The celebration of the completion of a contract. Grieving is of the ego. Celebration is of the soul.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Very beautiful. Ask Odin if there's anything else at this time.
He's been passing me a red flower, just a little gift, as a little pat in the back and a well done. Just a nice flower. Red. I didn't expect a red flower, but there you go.
Beautiful. Love. So at this time, I want you to invite all souls to come and join you in the place of planning. It has 4 ceilings and a wall that expand.
All souls, do you mean?
All souls connected to the healing of this dynamic, where you know that instead of grieving, what you can do is celebrate. that it is the completion of one thing, which is always the end of something, is the beginning of something else. So it's the next step on your journey of ascension, if you will.
Oh.
You're letting go of one thing, and then when the hand is empty, something else can be delivered. But when the hand is full, nothing else can come in.
Yeah.
So there's a celebration that occurs, and all sorts of beings come forth that are connected to your soul and the healing of this dynamic.
Interesting, actually. Very interesting, what's happening here at the moment.
It's a party.
I see his ancestry there as well, funnily enough.
Of course.
Oh, it's very interesting because I've been feeling his ancestors and all sorts of like kind of energies associated with him all around me. And I just felt like, geez, like, my gosh, I just all these people, entourage of people all around me every day.
Yeah. Well, they knew this was coming, so they're delighted, and they get to celebrate with you. So thank them all for attending. Thank him. And then you and Odin can make your way back to the round table. And you can ask Odin to have a seat here. And you can come back anytime and connect with him. He and many other guides are available for you in this realm. And then go ahead and make your way back through the door that leads you back to your place of peace. And then I want you to integrate everything that you just experienced through your physical dynamic, through your physical well-being, all the places in which you had been holding on to this energy, that you needed to feel guilt, that you needed to grieve. All of that has been released and let go, and there's now freedom where those energies were before. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now I want you to integrate everything that you just experienced through your personal dynamic. And your personal dynamic is you emotionally and how you feel about yourself. Understanding that you have everything that you need and you are self-contained. There isn't anything that you need from another. There isn't another to complete you. There is you as an extension of Source itself. And you really feel that longing, that desire, that need for someone else, it begins to dissipate for you because you realize that you have everything that you want, need, and desire in the universe, and it lives within you. Jesus says this beautiful thing. He says, if you bring forth what is within you will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you will destroy you. And everyone spends their lifetimes looking outside of them for people to complete them or fulfill them or whatever. But really the journey is inward. Next, I want you to integrate everything that you just experienced through your interpersonal dynamic. And this is now how you relate one-on-one to another. So rather than coming and feeling like there's something that you need someone else to give to you, you can come knowing that you have only love to give because you are so filled from within.
I mean, that tends to be more of my default. I do feel pretty complete, and in a way it's kind of presented a different thing now because the desire, obviously that dynamic has been very specific, but the desire, like I it's almost like it presented me with this thing like, now what, because there's not that pull. I just feel so good in my life with what I've got going on, and I feel so activated in my masculine and feminine as well. And I now the fun thing is that there's that question mark. I wonder what somebody can give me because I have so much. So
well, maybe there isn't anything for anyone to give you. Maybe your life is just meant to be of service and of giving.
But I do desire it, but there's a little bit, it's an interesting one, I'm sure it will find its way through, I do believe we're here to experience and share, and I feel there's space for it, but I just wonder what it would look like, because it feels like I've seen it in so many, in such limiting dynamics, or there's this need, so it has to, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm in a very kind of different template where I'm just intrigued. I wonder how it's going to manifest. And, you know, like I need it to be like very cosmic, that's for sure, you know? So it's interesting. I thank you so much for this. It's been really lovely.
You're very, very welcome, my love. Thank you so much for volunteering.
Thank you.
And thank you all for a very lovely Friday afternoon together. If any of you wish, you're welcome to come back if you didn't get a chance to be on the platform today. And the tools and techniques that were used are things that we teach. There are many students that are here that would love to work with you if that's something further you would like to do. And if you want to know about classes, we have all that information available as well. So thank you all for being here. Happy Friday afternoon. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And Laura Lee, is there anything I'm forgetting?
No, everything is there.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you, beloveds.
Thank you.
Much love.